This is the Jungle Update, where we stay in touch with the ongoing ministry of Missionary David Small in Burma.
Hi, everybody. My name is David Small, and I'm recording this from the jungle in Burma, also known as Myanmar. And you're listening to Psalm FM. And I'm just thankful to have an opportunity here to share a quick update. Our students watched with curiosity at the U.S. election and the results that came in a few days ago for that. And we're already into November, and the situation here in Burma is still tense as the rainy season is slowing down. It means that the fighting is increasing. And, the other night, a jet flew over our school. We've had recon planes fly over our school, but typically the recon planes don't bomb. And but the jets was a new thing for us, and in this particular location. And so the jets flew over in the middle of the night. It actually got me out of bed and outside to just kind of be ready in case we needed to jump into a trench. But they passed over and weren't interested in us for this particular night. But the war is happening, and in a few weeks' time, we're going to all leave from our school ground on our campus here at the Jungle Discipleship School, and we're going to go and try to find people to help. And we're not going to have to go very far, but we're going to, our students are preparing a program called the Good News Program, where we want to go and share the good news of Jesus with people in the war zone who need help. It's been just so amazing to see our students coming alive for Jesus in the past few weeks. And we've entered into our actual discipleship curriculum here at the Jungle Discipleship School. And it's just so cool to see them. The fog, this religious fog or this kind of fog of against Jesus is lifting up. We've had students who say things like that every time in the past when they've read the Bible, it's been boring for them, and now it's suddenly not boring. And it's interesting, they're learning how to read the Bible. This past week, we studied God as Jesus and the personality of Jesus. One thing that really just stood out for our students in this past week was, Jesus's life began with genocide. Herod orders the execution of all children under 2 years of age. And in the middle of the night, Joseph is woken up by an angel and told, pack all your stuff and flee to another country. And it finally clicked in the minds of the students, and maybe some of them have heard this story before, but Jesus was a refugee. And for our students who, if they're not refugees, they're IDPs, internally displaced people, their families, many of them are born or grew up in refugee camps. And for them to suddenly realize, hey, Jesus, this guy that we've heard so much about, was actually a refugee. And we asked the question, why? Why did it have to be that way? Why didn't God just send an angel to kill Herod? Why didn't God just hide Jesus and his family from the soldiers looking for them? But instead, the story is that Jesus had to flee to another country and spent the part of his childhood growing up as a refugee in another country. And we don't think about that very often. And especially our students here, it was just such an interesting way for them to connect with Jesus. And as we studied the personality of Jesus, they just really came alive in that. Another fun thing we've been doing is we have extracurricular activities and just ways that we can worship God or express ourselves in art or other forms. And we have a carpentry group that builds stuff for our camp because we have a ton of needs around our camp. And then we bought a bunch of paints and painting stuff, and our students started to paint. And I felt like a proud parent, who thinks that their kid's artwork is the best in the world. And I looked at their art, and just to see even the colors that they choose, these reds and oranges and purples, and their country is on fire. Burma is on fire, and their colors and the things they chose to paint, just expressing something inside. And you can see all their paintings on our Facebook page. We also have a little recording studio, and our students are recording some of John Eldridge's Pause app. And if you're not familiar with the Pause app, you should search that and just follow along the 30 Day to Resilience. But the Wild at Heart group has sent us the scripts for all of their 30 Day to Resilience. And with our friends, we've translated them into Burmese, and now we're trying to record them in our recording studio and get them out so that people all across Burma can hear the good news and hear the message that we're trying to share. There's lots happening at the Jungle Discipleship School, and there's lots of ways for you to connect with us and connect with our students. We'd love to pray for you as Psalm FM listeners around northern Minnesota and northwestern Ontario. If you have a prayer request, you can go to our website, junglediscipleshipschool.com/prayer, and send us your prayer request. And our students will pray for you here in the jungle. We want to be a school of prayer and a student body of prayer. And so we want to pray for you guys, and whatever you have, you can send to us as far as a prayer request. And you can follow us on Facebook. We have a podcast that we try to get out weekly or bi-weekly. And we have some video series that we're updating regularly. And so lots of ways for you to connect with us. We'd love to hear from you. We're so thankful for Psalm FM. You know, there are not many radio stations like this left in America, where it's a small station and they keep control over their content. And for you as a listener to have Psalm FM on as the soundtrack to your life, you just have a positive message constantly in the background. And and just we want to give glory to God in all of it. And so thank you to you guys who are listening. Thank you to Psalm FM for willing to share some updates from Burma. And we love you guys. God bless you.
To learn more about David Small's ministry in Burma, visit junglediscipleshipschool.com.